guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dorian and I will be giving you guys a video on how I studied for NCLEX. If you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, so this video is going to be the real, legit, step-by-step what I did, what I used, and my NCLEX results. I'll let you know at the end. So, I studied for a total of 3.5 weeks, just about. My last day of school was August 13th, and then I took my test September 6th. So, yeah, just about 3.5 weeks, going on 4 weeks. I used Kaplan and UWorld, and Kaplan was very, very hard. I got that program through my school, like we paid for it in our nursing bundle. And then UWorld I paid for as an extra source because I heard great things about UWorld. I got the $99 package that just included the QBank but no assessments. And then my Kaplan included 5 assessments, pre-test basically. So I was like, I'm not going to pay an extra $40 for UWorld assessments and I have Kaplan assessments. So those are the 2 programs that I used. Week 1, I studied about 30 to 40 questions a day using UWorld. I did this because I honestly was being lazy. I had just got home from school. I moved back home from college and I was not in the mood to study. I just graduated. I was ready to just breathe and relax a little bit. So I did baby steps into it. And my UWorld test sucked. It sucked. I got 40%, 50%, sometimes even 30% on my practice test. And my practice test would be 30 question practice test, 50 questions practice test. So yeah, I wasn't really happy with my scores and I was very sad about that. I text everybody who told me about UWorld, did y'all get bad scores? Because I'm stupid. And they yeah, it started off rough, but it'll get better. But they just keep doing it. Keep doing it every day. You'll get better. So I was like, okay, it'll get better. It'll get better. So I would write down, if I got something wrong, I would write down notes on that subject, but not little simple stuff I don't know an example of something that'd be simple, but something that when you get it wrong, you dang, I knew I shouldn't have chose that. I was thinking this the whole time anyway. I wouldn't write that down. Stuff that I legit did not know, have any idea, I just guessed, I would legit write everything down. And the UWorld rationales are this big. It's 2 to 3 paragraphs, if that, or a picture. I would write down the picture. I would write everything down, and I would try to get it into my memory as best as I could. Every weekend, I took a practice test from Kaplan. So I would do Monday through Friday practice questions from UWorld, and on the weekends, I would do practice assessments, practice tests from Kaplan. Kaplan is way harder than UWorld, so I would score horribly, but I did it anyway just to see what areas I was bad at. So Kaplan will tell you if you are bad at pharmacology, if you're bad at management of care, if you're bad at safety and infection control. They'll legit tell you which sections you're bad at. UWorld doesn't go into the sections like that, that's the UWorld. No. Pharmacy and management of care, safety and infection control. Those are the NCLEX categories that will be on the test. UWorld doesn't break it down that way. They break it down cardiovascular, endocrine system. They break it down by systems, which I kind of didn't like because I don't really like studying by system. I like studying by the type of question that will be on the NCLEX. So that's why I went back and forth. Week 2, I turned up. I was all right, I've been getting 40s and 30%. It's time to really kick it up. I would do 100 to 200 questions daily. So I would do 75 in the morning. I would take an hour break, and then I would do another 75, or I would do 25, or I'll do 50. And then late at night in my bed, I would just do 25 quick questions. So I was totaling 100 to 200 questions daily, depending on what I had to do that day, of course. And how motivated I was and how much coffee I drank. So, yes, 100 to 200 questions every day for week 2. I did these questions on UWorld and UWorld only. I did tutor mode. Tutor mode on UWorld is like where you click your answer, submit it, and they'll tell you if it's right or wrong right then and there, and they'll give you the rationale. Reasons why I did tutor mode was because it saves time. You don't go through the whole test and then remediate the whole test. You kind of go through each question at a time and you're studying while you're taking the test. So I did this to speed up the process kind of, because I didn't want to be at the library every single day. Like, who wants to be there every single day for hours? I was there from like 10 o'clock to 1:30 every day, and then I would do like 25 questions at home. Okay, week 3, so this is approaching the test. Week 3, I would do 100 to 200 questions a day. UWorld, on the weekends, I still did my Kaplan. But week 3, I did timed mode. So timed mode on the test gives you the amount of time that you would have for that amount of questions on the actual NCLEX test. So if you do 75 questions, that's probably like, I don't know, they give you like a minute and 20 seconds per question on NCLEX. So that's how much time I would have, which I would do 75 questions in like 40 minutes. Like, I was quick. I would read the question and I would go with my first gut choice. Boom, boom, boom. Because the more you sit there and just think and think and think, like, you either know it or you don't. You know that lab value's off, or you know that you have no clue. Like, honestly. And it's not a race, so I wouldn't tell you to just like click through your test. But I do know that it's better if you stick with your first mind instead of like pondering, because it's always going to be between 2 answers, like this one or this one, this one or this one. And like, I could go all day thinking about which one. So you have to just go with your gut and like trust your instinct. You've been in nursing school for 3 years, 2 years, however long, and they've been training you since day one. So you have your nurse instinct, even though you feel like you're, novice and you don't know anything, but it's there. Because I didn't think I had it. I'm like, I don't know. Then I would get it right. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So something did tell me I was right. So, yeah, I would do time mode. And then I would go back and remediate after, which took forever. Because, like I said, I was doing 100 to 200 questions. So, remediating all those questions after you just sat there for like 40 minutes to an hour, it was a lot. But I did this because I wanted it to look like the NCLEX. I wanted it to feel like I was about to take my test at any moment, and I knew doing tutor mode was going to kind of spoil me in a sense. So when I got to the NCLEX, I would be like looking for the right answer, and in our reality, that's not how it is. Okay, another thing that I did was take breaks. If you do 200 questions a day, do not sit there doing 200 back to back to back to back. I would take a break and I would watch videos. So Kaplan has this very like cool website where they have a channel, like kind of like a YouTube channel for Kaplan. And through the channel, they'll go over prioritization, like select all that apply, how to answer select all that apply questions, pharmacology 101, like they had it all, videos for everything. But the videos would be like an hour to hour and a half. So I ain't gonna lie, I probably watched about 4 of them, but that's what I did on my breaks. I didn't like skim Instagram and all of that. I would try to keep my brain in a nursing mode on my breaks. So I would watch YouTube videos, I would watch the Kaplan videos. I would go over some of my notes from like the last week of nursing school. If your school's anything like mine, they're going to give you like a crash course for NCLEX. I will go over those notes that they gave us, and that was really that. That's what I did on my breaks before I started another set of 75 questions or 50 questions, however many I chose to do. Another way that I studied is the last week or the last like 5 days leading up to NCLEX, I did not write down anything that I didn't really write down anything. Like that first week, I really just wrote. But by the last week, it was like either you know it or you don't. And writing it, I mean, it'll stick, but So the things that I wrote was the things that I knew that I had deep deep trouble remembering, which is precautions. So, like, there's a mnemonic for precautions, which I'm going to explain in another video. Hyperthyroidism versus hypothyroidism, DKA versus HHS. Like, those concepts that kept popping up on the practice questions that I kind of didn't really know for sure, those are the things that I wrote down and I kept looking over in this last week of studying, because you cannot stress yourself out with thinking that I'm going to know everything cardiovascular, every type of heart disease, every medication that is for heart disease. I'm going to know everything respiratory. Don't stress yourself out, sis. Let me tell you. Don't do it because it's not happening. Work on the things that you keep seeing on the practice test, like you're going to see a lot of arthritis questions, rheumatoid versus osteoporosis or whatever. You're going to see a lot of thyroid questions. You're going to see a lot of diabetic questions. You're going to see a lot of asthma questions. Those type of things are the things that you write down. Those are the concepts that you write down. You don't write down this weird disease that you barely see and you know nothing about it. And you're not going to write down the diagnosis, the treatment, the medication, and all of this that you're going to do. No, that's what you do in nursing school, and studying for the NCLEX is way broader, so you want to kind of narrow your studying down. Another thing that I did was random 5 to 10 question test on my phone. So UWorld and Kaplan both have mobile apps, and on the mobile apps, you can do practice tests. So I would do these 5 to 10 questions. Like when I first woke up, I would just you look at your phone when you first wake up and you go to Instagram. Okay, so I wouldn't do that. I would wake up and I would do a quick 5-question practice test. And then I would base if I was going to get up from bed or do another one based on my score. So if I got above a 60, which that's the number that people say you should get on the Kaplan test. Like if you get above a 60 on the Kaplan test, you're golden. That's what the Kaplan representative told us on the last week of nursing school. So 60 was my go-to number. It was my goal. So if I got above a 60, I would get up, check my Instagram. I'll be like, okay, cool. I just woke up. I'm not even really fully capable. And I got above a 60. And if I got a 30 or a 20, I would sit my butt in bed and I would do it again. So I would do these random tests before I got out of bed. If I was watching a movie with my family, I would do a quick 5-question test in the middle of the movie. I was always thinking NCLEX. That was I'll be driving down the street NCLEX. What did I learn today? You have to live, breathe, sleep, drink NCLEX questions. Seriously, that's the only way, I'm telling you. It's last minute advice of how I studied and how I prepared for NCLEX. I just want to let you know, if you make studying, doing practice questions your life for 2 to 3 weeks, you wake up in the morning, it's your 9 to 5. Literally, you're studying, you're doing questions, you're remediating. You're going to see your scores climb up, as the weeks go. And then at the peak of, I started off at 30%. That's what I was getting on a practice test. I ended up getting my highest was an 81, so an 82%. Then I took my NCLEX a couple, the next day or two. Literally, make this your life for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Sacrifice your time, do what you have to do, and you'll pass. It's that simple. The test is not as hard as people say it is. It's not that hard when you've been doing Kaplan and UWorld, because Kaplan and UWorld, that's hard. They're going to be specific. And if you know specific info, you know the little general stuff that comes up on NCLEX. I'm telling you, you have to remember, people all over the world, all over the country are taking this one test. You can go to school in Florida and take the NCLEX in California, and it's going to be the same test. So with that in mind, you have to think, what can they really put on here that we all know, that we all have common base knowledge on, that a girl from Utah and a girl from Alaska can both figure out? That tells you right there that it's not going to be as bad as you think. Take a deep breath, study, drink coffee, because you need your brain to be stimulated. If you don't drink coffee, I don't know what to tell you, because coffee is how I got through. And yeah, pray every day and just relax. It'll be fine. If you put in the work, it will be fine. I'm telling you. I was so nervous. I didn't think I was going to pass. I'm like, I need to do like 150 more questions. Like, this was the night before my test. I thought I needed to do like way more because I was like, I'm going to fail. And you can't think like that. You have to give yourself some credit. You went to nursing school for years. Like, for years, your life was studying. And then for like 3 more weeks, jam-packed, your life is studying again. So your brain, like, you got to give it some credit. It knows way more than you think. And if you go in with that mindset, you're going to pass NCLEX, okay? So breathe.